All right, fellas, let's get into the biggest story in Lakerland. And honestly, probably the biggest story in the NBA front office world right now, if you're not the Los Angeles Clippers. Mark Walter didn't just get the Los Angeles Lakers for $10 billion or to become majority owner. He came in and immediately started making moves. Joey Buss, Jesse Buss, gone. Off into the ethos to, I don't know, do what other billionaire owners do, kick their feet up in the sand and enjoy the rest of their lives. What they will not be doing is making decisions for the Los Angeles Lakers. News reported last week that Mark Walter had removed both Joey and Jesse Buss from the Lakers basketball operations departments. Same Joey and Jesse Buss, who have been integratedly to the Lakers, both scouting department, the South Bay Lakers, and all of those second round steal of fines. Your Larry Nance Jr., your Jordan Clarkson's, hell, even your Austin Reeves. I guess that all led to nothing, which would lead us to the fact that it came out in the report that both Joey or Jesse Buss had not talked to their sister, Jeannie Buss, or Rob Pelinka, Littlefinger in this whole situation, in about 5 months. So what does that mean? The Los Angeles Lakers will be without two members of the Buss family who have been a part of the organization for over 20 years. I have thoughts, but I want to kick it to our two newer Laker lifers, right? Both of you guys came with the Church of LeBron. The Buss family has been synonymous with the Los Angeles Lakers. We all know the story about Dr. Jerry Buss passing it down to Jeannie, Jeannie having beef with her family. And now we fast forward to the year of our Lord 2025, and blood is not thicker than water. Fellas, your reaction to the Mark Walter firing of Joey and Jesse Buss?
The Walters send their regards. That's exactly what it was. When you said they downvoted them, it was like, oh, all right, bet. We don't take care of that.
And just to clarify, Joey and Jesse Buss brought up to the board of governors to have a vote on this situation, and the whole Jeannie selling to Mark Walter, the team, this was something that would combat that. If you got enough people to vote no, it wasn't going to go down. It's so funny. I just started watching Succession, just finished season 1. Fire show. This feels like this is
good television.
This literally feels like it was season 1 of Succession just brought to the Lakers' doorstep. They wanted to block the sale. The sale goes through. What does the head nigga in charge do on day 2? Get rid of the traitors. Makes sense to me. Kwame, you surprised that those heads were the first ones to go? Just kind of how it goes when you start clearing house and taking over.
Yeah, come on, man. They had to see the writing on the wall. You can't downvote the majority sale and then when the big dog walks through, think you just gonna escape the guillotine. Nah, your head's gonna roll down the center of the town lobby like everybody else. So like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for them because I feel like, again, just in my brief Laker tenure of like 6 years or so, I remember Joey and Jesse getting a lot of praise for, again, the draft picks, the players they were scooping up, the guys in South Bay, the farm system, how they were able to bring actually some pretty decent talent. I mean, you think Alex Caruso, you think Austin Reeves, like you said, the Larry Nances, the Jordan Clarksons, like they've been a part of the process for a long time. And especially the Lakers have had pretty good drafts, especially when you think like second round and those type of guys. They've been able to pick up people who have stuck in the league and maybe not stuck with the Lakers organization, but have found their footing in the league. So give their credit where credit's due. I think they did a good job of being able to scout and find talent. But this is just the case, man. When you're against a new ownership and new ownership comes in, they're going to clear house against people who don't see the vision, who don't see the mission. Why you want people who are against your best interests, in your own house with you? You gonna sleep in the same bed as your enemy? Probably not. Whoever closed their eyes first gonna get the yink. So I get it. I understand it. This makes total sense. And they had to understand this. Now, it's unfortunate that, again, their father's business, which they thought would essentially sit within the Buss family forever, is no longer theirs. And that's not to say it's a complete sale. Like, they are minority shareholders. They still have stake in the business. It's just, they're not majority. They don't get to make the calls, the claims, all that stuff. But I think this is a necessary step, man. The NBA's moved away from mom and pop ownership. Like nowadays, there's so much money in these sports ownerships. These are guys that this is their second, or third or fourth source of income. It's not their main source as it was with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think if you looked at like all the owners and, net worth, Jeannie was near the bottom of the list, man. of NBA owners. So it was, and again, this is the most popular basketball franchise in the entire world. You know what I'm saying? So it needed a fresh set of eyes. It needed a fresh pocketbook, so to speak. Your Lakers fans, Los Angeles locals already know what Mark Walter has been able to do with the Dodgers and how they've been able to rise from the ashes and just dominate the MLB. So what's to say that same backing can't come to the Lakers? So I know there's a ton of excitement. It is unfortunate for Joey and Jesse, but I mean, come on, man. This is run of the mill business to me. So, I guess the bright side of it for Joey and Jesse, I think they each pulled in about what, like $1 billion for themselves just in the sales. So, they'll be the saddest rich people I know. So hey, you take it with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna kill him to not still be truly synonymous with the Lakers, like
Definitely.
the Bus family always have been. But in a while, when a lion kill another lion and take over his pride, what they usually do, kill the other
Kill 'em.
baby lions too.
Yep. Got to get rid of them.
And so they seen that coming. They was probably like, you know what, this is just a formality at this point, so they probably don't care. But I would just say this probably just the beginning of changes, and I would imagine it could be anything. If you don't get down, you're gonna lay down type of deal.
Well, that's where I wanted to go, Jody. Obviously, with these departures, right? It's on both sides. There's the immediate hole that is left. The Bus brothers, for all intents and purposes, Kwame touched on it earlier. They were legit player development guys, right? They found talent. They built the scouting departments. And now the scouting department's no more. Like, they were not the only heads to roll. Let's just be clear. There was another Bus name that I didn't even know existed. He had a job, right? I didn't know if he was the team masseuse or the water boy. He's out. And a few other guys. I mean, you're sad to see people lose their good paying jobs, but in the short term, is the tearing down the house to the studs going to let in a draft? And if that draft gets in, is there going to be some hiccups on the way to rebuilding this in your image if you're Mr. Mark Walter? Or do you expect a pretty fast turnover right now that he is Thanos in El Segundo?
I mean, it's gonna be missteps, and you know what I'm saying, but it don't matter because he's like you said, the HNIC now. So whatever missteps happen, they gonna keep going and move forward. The good thing is you got the player, you got the coach. Those are like two legit cornerstones. You know what I'm saying? And as good as the Bus brothers may have been, maybe are. They're not the only people that's capable of being great scouts. You know what I mean? So it's not as if the job can't be filled with somebody else that's just as capable, a man or a woman that's just as capable and just as good as picking talent and seeking talent and going out and finding what's what, where's where. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even look at it as like a bad thing. I think just like you said with what they've done with baseball, I'm just hoping that they are able to hire the right people to know what they're looking for. I don't know how you determine what makes a scout good or bad. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully they have the resources and wherewithal to figure out who's who and what's what. And at the end of the day, if it all works out, if the Lakers win a championship in the next, the Lakers won a championship in 2020. It's 2026 now.
Yeah, they got 4 years.
So yeah, how
it's the
long was
truth.
it before when this group bought the Dodgers to when the Dodgers won their most recent of these last titles? Like, I feel like something relative to that should be like the window. Not that baseball that's 162 games is apples to apples to basketball that's 82 games. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily the same, but I'm imagining that should be something to your point about like, are we letting it rock if it's a hiccup or how is it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that should be like a good reference point of what we're looking at, and we can be consistent on that because we have a player that's in the heart of his prime that we know for a fact has been to the finals and has been to that promised land. Taking LeBron out of it, because whether he plays 1 year, 2 years, whatever, we've seen 85 to 90% of the time that he's gonna be a Laker. You know what I'm saying? So you got the coach that you trust. I feel like JJ and Luca. Do y'all think they have a good working relationship that they could be good? I feel like 'cause if you think Jason Kidd's a good coach, I feel like you should have confidence in JJ Redick, basically. So I think everything is right there for him.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's at the end of the day, you're gonna think like, was the Bus family only employing, family members? I mean, it may be a little on the cheaper side. You run into as a family business where, I
Yep.
mean, I don't know the stipulations around front office hiring and if there's a cap or anything, but you would assume that Mark Walter and his pocketbook can get the best in the business. The best money can buy, and that's maybe something that the old Lakers guard couldn't when you think of scouting. But I mean, I think this is just kind of a common thing. I mean, you think of the last several teams that have rolled off on the sale book. You think of the Mavericks, you think of the Timberwolves, you think Celtics, Lakers, Trailblazers, all teams that have recently gone for sale. New owner, even the Phoenix Suns, new ownership is often want to get in and make their mark. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to clean house how they need to, whether it's star players, whether it's GMs. Again, you think these are these billionaires like playthings, so to speak. So they're going to fix it however they want to. And again, if it doesn't go the way it is, they sell it and they move on. And that's not to say people aren't, invested in winning or anything of that shape, but they want to make the mark their own. Patrick Dumont, that was one of the things he said when the Luka trade went down, is, he wants to make his mark. You know what I'm saying? So is Anthony Davis the mark for his era? I mean, we'll see.
Right.
We already saw Nico Harrison got booted already. Didn't even get a year past the trade. You know what I'm saying? And he was already out. You see with the Suns, you see how he was quick to bring guys in, and the moment it didn't work, he fired coach year after year. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care. It's a carousel for these guys, and so they're gonna bring in people or remove people as they deem fit to fit the vision they have for the team, regardless of the history, regardless of how long you've been there. And I think Mark Walters gonna be a little more sensitive to that fact. As you see, he spared Jeannie, he spared Rob, but again, those sound like people who are with the vision, and if you're not with the
I
vision,
feel
you gotta
like they
go.
don't notice though. That's why I was asking about Jeannie and Rob. Like, I feel like even when people be like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be all good," yeah, they still double back and be like, "You know what? I got somebody better that I actually want in this position that I think is gonna be better." And so we appreciate your contributions, but we gonna have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody but Genie, I feel like, has an unknown next to their name. I
Yeah.
think Genie and Mark Walter know exactly what Genie's off ramp looks like, what her offboarding looks like for her Laker decision making career. They did,
Okay.
that announcement when they sold the team. What
Yeah.
was the next thing they said out their mouth? Genie will still be a part of basketball decision making. They ain't say the Bus family.
That's
They
fair.
said Genie Bus is going to stay. This isn't a full break. So I can almost guarantee behind closed doors, that's all written in paperwork. The lawyers already got it. They figured all that out before the sale even went through.
Mhm.
The rest of them, brother, there's going to be a lot more cardboard boxes around those El Segundo offices. I can guarantee you that, man. No one's
Mhm.
safe. And honestly, it did make me think about Rob. Now, did Rob Pelinka trade for a top 3 NBA talent? Yes, absolutely. My final question on this topic for y'all is, all things considered, how much time does that buy you trading for Luka Doncic? What do you think?
Ooh, to be honest, I probably give Rob to the end of what I don't know when his contract's up, but that's probably how long he's got. I doubt that unless something drastic happens, they'll probably keep him on board until,
Ship
that
starts
contract
to
ends, and then
sink.
they reevaluate. That'd be my guess. Again, unless he does, a Nico Harrison level move, I expect him to kind of finish out his contract. And again, who knows? Jeannie seems to go to bat for Rob every opportunity she has, so she might help move that needle a little bit longer and keep Rob extended again. So it's hard to really tell, but yeah, I'll be honest. Even your point where you say, Jeannie's probably the only one who's locked in. I mean, we look what just happened with the Mavericks. Mark Cuban was supposed to still be in the executive room, but then the trade went down and he said he ain't get a word. He's just season ticket
Yeah,
holder
they
Mark Cuban
backdoored
now.
him.
And Mark
Yeah.
Cuban got money, bro.
Yeah.
He's no bum out here. And they casted him to the side because this is a new era of Mavericks basketball. So, like I said, Genie and all them, they hold their positions only as long as Mark Walter wants them to hold it. The moment he doesn't feel like they're necessary, they're out, and they don't get no second choice about it. So, again, we don't know what his personality or anything. Not to say that he's going to just cast people to the side, but Don't be surprised if more comes down the pipeline sooner than y'all think.
Yeah, man. This remind me of The Godfather. I don't know if y'all if y'all really watched The Godfather,
Of
but that's one
course.
of my favorite movies. But I remember towards the end of Vito's life when he was talking to Michael and he's trying to tell him how it's gonna go as the succession is going, and he's like, they're gonna come to you with somebody that you absolutely trust to set up a meeting, guaranteeing your safety. And at that meeting, you will be assassinated.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they tried to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
Like,
that, to your point about like Rob Pelinka, like, cause you're like, yeah, like a sale probably can't go down without one quote unquote bust family member having a smooth transition out of ownership. You know what I'm saying? But to your point of like, how long does Rob have? Like, I'm not sure how long. It's probably one of those, it's a fluid type of thing. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, you're gonna be good to the end of your contract at least. And then something I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Mavericks GM. It was yeah, you got to the end of your contract, do what you gonna do. And then AD got hurt, and then Kyrie got hurt, and then you looking at it and you like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and step off, bro. You know, we appreciate what you did, but we'll go ahead and get you out of here. You know, so that's why I feel like Jeannie might be like, yeah, man, Rob, it's gonna be all good. Here, come on, we about to go get some lunch. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time and be there with some papers. Like, man, it's all good. You
Yeah.
know, I
Sign these.
appreciate. We had a good run.
Yeah. Sign these
Yeah.
severance papers right here. To your point, it's all good till it's not.
Yeah,
And once it's not, your head's on the chopping block.
yeah, man. They'll tell you it's all good until everything is set in stone. Now we can take you out back.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta have that, that ace up the sleeve. That again, Secession season 1, Greg, the tall, awkward dude, Greg the Egg.
Greg
He
the
stopped
Egg.
getting less and less stupid as the season went on.
Mhm.
I remember one, he told the oldest son, as they was about to go do the whole coup, switching, tried to take his dad off the throne. Greg was like, "Hey, just so you know, them papers they had me shred up about the cruise ship. Yeah, I made some copies of those. So, any regime change, I'd expect to be kept, if you feel what I'm saying." And I feel like even at that level of business and backdoor workings, what the son do? He couldn't do nothing but respect it,
Yeah.
right? There's again, and then the father at the end when he was the senator went to say, "You want to shake hands?" He's like, "I don't think any of us want to get our hands dirty," meaning that everybody involved is doing some two-way stuff. I guess maybe except Jeannie, because she leave it to her. She ain't speak to not one of them
No,
on
she
the
said,
other
"Go
end.
ahead, go ahead, get him out of here. I'm cool."
She put
She
on that
said-
new iPhone feature that just sends everybody to voicemail and does the screening. She said, "Oh, Joey, nope,
Hell
I'm good.
no.
No,
He gonna get his money. He's straight.
Yeah,
He's straight,
say,
right.
don't be silly, he'll be all right.
Man, talk
We'll
about a
laugh
golden
about it
parachute.
later.
Can't help but to think at least a couple of those strings on the parachute with Joey and Jimmy, they feel like have been cut. But best of luck to them. I do think, as to close this out, it is unfortunate that this is
Yeah.
clearly the signal of the end of an era, right? The bus Lakers era is ending.
What a
And
run.
maybe this was the funeral, right? Like, because outside of them being minority owners and Jeannie publicly saying is going to be a part of the decision making, the Lakers up until 2025, mom and pop ran organization. Kwame said it earlier. Those don't exist anymore in America, right? Yeah, you may have made your money off of the NBA coming up, but those owners have long sold out to the tech bros. Then kind of they paper and rode off into the sunset. I appreciate Jeannie running this organization, and getting us to the point where we're at now. To be honest, if you're asking me, this is a pretty natural off ramp, especially when everybody has had a chance to run almost everything. And there's been so much turmoil along the way. It's
Yeah.
not like this was the happiest family in the world leading up to this point. They've been in the tabloids with each other with beef almost all of my life. So if this is just the end of one of the great family-ran sports organizations before it moves into Silicon Valley, let the richest billionaire wins. Sorry, man. Banner's gonna live forever, and they all gonna have the bus names attached to them, and forevermore. I'm sure they'll stay my owners for forever. But we're the money team now, baby. We with the big billionaires, right? Mr. Walter, Mr. Walter. What you need me to do, man? I'll sweep. I'll clean. I'm good with calculation. What you need, big dog? Shoot, I'm looking for a job. Let's get into it, man.